Okay, good day, everyone. So what we are going to discuss today is all about deductive arguments. No? So by the end of this lesson, what we are going to do is that you will be able to validate if the argument validate the arguments and also make a conclusion based on the rules of inference that we have. Okay, so we will start now with the definition of a deductive argument. No. Okay. So a logical argument, no, deductive in the deductive side, uh, is an assertion that is a given set of assertions p sub 1 to p sub n. We call that as premises, which yields to another proposition q, which is called a conclusion. Such argument is we denote it with this expression. Okay. Okay. If you see that symbol, okay, if you see that symbol is denotes a deduction or an argument. Okay. So let us try. This is an example of a logical argument or a deductive argument. So if you know my password, you can hack my account. You have my password, so therefore you can hack my account. So based on this logical argument, so if we let P as you know my password and Q as you can hack my account, then this would be our premises. So our premise number one is P implies Q. So we just simply transform the given sentence. If you hack my password, you can hack my account. No? So that is our first premise. Then our second premise, okay, we transform that into symbol P. Okay, you have my password is another premise of this logical argument. So our conclusion is Q. Okay, so that is the symbol for our uh, our proposition. So you can hack my account is our conclusion in this logical argument. So in symbol, we can write the whole the given argument into this expression. Okay, now let's proceed now with the definition of a valid argument. Okay, an argument with that expression is said to be valid if Q is true whenever all the premises are true. So an argument which is not valid is called a fallacy. Okay. So if the given condition here is not met, therefore that kind of argument is already a fallacy. Okay. So an argument is said to be valid, no, if our conclusion is true. Okay, if all our premises are true, so with the conclusion. So if there is uh, at least one, let's say all premises are true, but it lead to at least one false for the conclusion, then that is already a fallacy. Now let me give you an example of a valid argument and a fallacy. Okay. So let us say, for example, this one, no, the first example that we have. Okay, you have my password and if you know my password, you can hack my account. Therefore, you can hack my account. Okay. Okay, this argument is a valid argument. Okay. So if we transform that into truth tables, okay. So we have the truth tables for P. Then for P implies Q, okay, it is only false if P is true whenever Q is false. No? Okay, so to check if it's a valid argument, so we will just check on those premises where both premises are true, and that is found in our first row. So if you could see this one, okay, in the first row, both are true, then our conclusion is true. No? And the rest, okay, there is no other combination for the premises where both premises are true. That's only found in first row. No? And since for both premises are true, then it gives our conclusion also a true statement. Therefore, this is a valid argument. Okay, this one is a valid argument. Let's have another example. Okay, this one, Q and P implies Q, therefore false is a fallacy. So I am happy. If I have good grades, then I am happy. Therefore I have good grades. Okay. So okay, this kind of argument is a fallacy, no? This is a fallacy. Okay. So if we try to put them into truth tables, equivalent truth tables for them. Okay, so if we write truth tables for Q, we'll just simply copy Q. So P implies Q, it is only false whenever P is true and Q is false. Okay, so if you could see here at rows 1 and rows 3, it gives us both true truth value. No? So if we try to look at the conclusion, the other one is true, but the other one is false. No? The other one is false. So therefore, since there is at least one, no, at least one did not really meet the condition that we have in our definition for valid argument. So therefore, this one is a fallacy. No? So if both premises are true, it leads to our conclusion, at least one conclusion to a false statement. So therefore, that is already a fallacy. No? So in order for us to say that an argument is valid if all our premises are true, then it would lead also to a conclusion that is true. No? If at least one is false, then therefore that is already a fallacy. Okay. So for this one, okay, I will just leave this to you as practice exercise. No? You can test yourself for this one. Okay, by the way, it is a valid argument. Okay, so here is our solution for this example. By the way, class, here are some list of valid arguments. No, so the number one that we have the modus ponens. Okay, The second example, no, the third example, the one that you answered, that is an example of a modus tollens. And here are some lists of some valid arguments. No, here are some lists of some valid arguments. Okay. Okay, let's try to solve this one. No? Is this given argument valid or a fallacy? If valid, what rules of inference do apply? So if a man is single, then he is happy. If a man is unhappy, he dies young. So therefore, single dies young. Okay, would you believe in this one? So here is our solution. So we try to transform this into propositions. Premise one is P implies Q. No? Premise two is Q implies R. So that would lead us to our conclusion, P implies R. So if we try to go back to our table for rules of inference, so which one would you think? So it is similar to a hypothetical syllogism, no? So this argument is valid by hypothetical syllogism, no? Okay, so here are some examples. Okay, so what rules of inference would each of these statement apply? So these are all valid arguments. Number one is by addition. Number two, it's by modus ponens, and number three, it's by modus tollens. And I guess that ends my presentation.